I'm a sterile man. What flaws do you have that you're grateful for? When I was in high school I weighed about 340 pounds at 5'7". Pretty big boy. One day at lunch I was crossing the street and was hit by a large Dodge dually truck, going about 40 miles per hour. Had 8 broken ribs, internal bleeding and a lot of road rash. Doctor said if I was not so big I would probably be dead. I'm now down to around 220 if anyone was wondering. My so and I were both deemed sterile as well. We have a 5-year-old boy together as a result. I'd really be certain of the fact, just in case. I wanted to say this. My sister and brother-in-law were both told they were sterile by several doctors. My sister got pregnant their wedding night. I get motion sickness whenever I watch TV or play video games. It's severe enough so that I never do it. I'm using all my extra time training for an Ironman. I almost wish that happened to me in front of a computer. I waste countless hours doing nothing in front of my computer screen. I have an incredibly low sex drive in all cases. Something's probably wrong with me, but I prefer playing the piano to pretty much any possible experience in life. DM. PP. I cannot smell. I have anosmia. Obviously. I can eat out women with true enthusiasm. I've heard it can be gross. I love it. I never insult people when they make food. My wife can fart all she wants. Skunks are cute. My boyfriend can't smell due to a bad car accident when he was a child. I constantly forget and comment on smells. It takes a long time to get used to, but it's nice because I can pick his cologne and such and he has no opinion about it. And yes, there's the farting. I'm red-green colorblind. I love it because everyone sees it as some kind of alien trait. It's a great conversation starter. All the chicks give me pity for not seeing the world in perfect color. When I was dating a girl she actually cried when I told her. So much relationship karma from that. It also puts me in the center of attention and the butt of all the jokes in a class. But I'm okay with that, because I'm a filthy attention W. Filthy, filthy, filthy. Word of advice. Get a fertility test if you haven't already done so. My boyfriend of 11 years thought he was sterile. We never used protection. I never got pregnant. We ended up married to different people and each having our own kids. He wasn't sterile. We were chemically incompatible. Or his new wife isn't, being perfectly honest. I don't know why, but I never get hungry. My body just doesn't seem to tell my brain when it needs food, so I have to constantly remind myself that I should probably eat something because I haven't in a few hours. It's not because I'm hungry, it's because I know I'll probably pass out if I forget to eat. I've gone days without eating, once a whole week because I just couldn't be bothered. As a result, I'm very thin, 5 ft 9 inches, 115 lbs, and save a lot of money on food. I'm not anorexic. I like food, and I try to get 3 meals a day. It's just that I never get hungry. Similar here. I do get hungry once in a while, but I can ignore that crap like nobody's business. I literally have accidentally gone almost a day without eating. No problem. Also, work is a breeze when you don't have to take a break for food. If I had $1 every time I accidentally went an entire shift without eating, I would have like $40. Overwhelming apathy. I could come up with reasons why it's good, but I just don't feel like it. Same here. It's a gift and a curse. On the one hand, I'm never stressed. On the other, I don't give a crap about anything and have very little drive. I have a very rare medical condition that kinda fricked me over. I'm 19, 4'6" and have a very large hump on my back. I'm not the most handsome sucker either. I had to have surgeries every 6 months all throughout high school, and I'm incredibly awkward and a bit antisocial, like many Redditors. I am thankful every day for what I have. It doesn't define me, but it shaped me. I am a stronger person for it. I have also had to deal with normal issues like parents' divorce and custody battles, death of a loved one, and money troubles. But I've always held my head high and struggled through it because I've been through heck and I know I can go through it again. It has given me a unique perspective in that I can be empathetic to people who need empathy the most and can relate to men who feel alone. I know what it is like to feel alone, be in pain, and not feel normal and such, so I help people I can deal with it. I've had my highs and lows, I know what it is like to feel suicidal because of things that are out of your control. I went through that and came out. And on the less depressing end, it made me pretty frickin' awesome. I am in college, have friends, drive my own vehicle and am trying to make my own money. All this after my parents were told I wouldn't live through the night I was born, and the next 4 years were doctors telling them how fricked I was. We didn't care. I did what needed to be done. Had help from amazing people, including my parents, and I can walk, talk, am mentally stable, though a bit off in butt, and can function on my own. All of these things were at some point explicitly stated that I would never do by some of the best doctors in their fields. I fought through all that crap and became Jesse. Whoa, I'm sorry, that was a bit rambly and I doubt it will even be read. Oh well. Have a very large hump on my back, but, I've always held my head high. That was actually quite funny. Hump on, dude. I have fibromyalgia, a pain disorder that makes me feel like I've been hit by a bus most of the time. I am hypersensitive and feel pain from regular activities, and pain meds don't do crap, but the hypersensitivity makes it incredibly easy to orgasm. My mother has fibro. Thanks for that last bit. I see you as a glass half full kind of man, and I congratulate you on finding the good in your situation. There is so much negativity in this world, and the positive light that you look at this with brightens my day. Finally, adoption is a very good choice, as there are plenty of children out there that need good loving parents. I have had acne most of my life, and it has taught me to see people for who they really are. What's the phrase? Skin deep. Same, except add dandruff, stretch marks on my back, and a concave chest. I've also learned the value of taking some initiative to care of my body. I've got a bent penis. Not just a little bit, but significantly crooked. It doesn't function better or any worse, but it is a great icebreaker at parties. As in, the topic of having a methyl covidong. Not my actual penis. Not that I've ever tried to break ice with it. Be right back. I know a guy who has 3 testicles. I met him for the first time at a party and the topic came up and I asked him to whip it out. Good icebreaker indeed. I have a metal plate in my leg. I like to say it bothers me whenever my friends want me to play basketball with them or something. They never asked why it doesn't stop me from doing anything I like. For all intents and purposes, I'm asexual. Being a 19-year-old male, I certainly find girls attractive. But I have no desire to engage in sexual relations with anyone, really. I find the act to be gross, to be honest, and just have no drive for it. I certainly swoon over females because they are attractive. They have a pleasing aesthetic to them and or a great personality, but sex is not something I am in any way, shape or form looking forward to having. I personally like it this way. It certainly doesn't meddle with my intentions with women. I just like their presence. I'm an average looking female. Not being constantly whistled at and hit on and followed by creeps is a very good thing. I have no problem finding dating partners when I want to look for them, and my self-esteem is pretty level. Neutrality in a world of extremes is most refreshing, indeed. When people tell me I can't do something, I tell them to bite me and I do the crap out of whatever it is. Example, when I was 12, I wanted to be a vegetarian. And my mom laughed in my face. I was a vegetarian for 9 years out of spite. You're not allowed to have sex with me. I have a 3rd nipple. I'm grateful for this for obvious reasons. My deafness. Severe profound hearing loss in both ears. I love IT. The deaf culture is amazing and I never let my deafness keep me from doing anything. It actually got me to where I am today. I just graduated from NIU with a leadership award that only 32 out of 5,000 graduates can get, and I'm now a camp director for kids that has the same issues as me. Camp Lyons in Illinois. And my goal is to get into the Deaf Rehabilitation Services Counseling Master's program in order to help high school college kids to get to where they want in life. Growing up, people has constantly made fun of me, but that just made me stronger and made me strive towards to where I am today. When people find out that I'm actually deaf, they're just amazed that I'm me and would have never figured that I'm deaf. I have to say is that people with disabilities should consider it as a challenge that they have to go through, and it will make them a better and stronger person. I can pop and plug my own ears. When I was in middle school, 15ish years ago, we had a pool and I ended up with intense inner ear canal damage from excessive ear infections. So now when things are too loud I can just plug up my ears, and when things are too quiet I can pop them. It's like my own personal volume control. When I was growing up, I was very short and very thin. When you're like that, you spend every bit of effort proving that you aren't. That said, I still did enjoy being slender and wiry, even though I am about average height now, but still under the average weight. This attitude is still with me. I try my damnedest to be myself, but if I am measured with someone else's criteria, I'll still give them a run for their money. Except sports. I still suck at sports. My autism. I'm at a lighter end of the spectrum, so I'm more Asperger than full-on autistic. Anyway, I'm very good with computers. Can remember anything about just about any video game or malware for Windows. Remember entire scripts from movies. Have a heck of a poker face. Improvise badass speeches off the top of my head. Edit videos. Love cats more than I'll ever love a human. And act up a storm. And I owe it all to that loose wire in my brain. Thanks, Mom, for passing on the Asperger gene. I hope my son will be this positive later on in life. You're awesome. I have a learning disability. It takes me longer and more effort to learn things, sometimes just a different out of the box method. But once I have it I'll know and remember it a lot better than anyone else. Other things also come natural. I did plays and musicals in high school. I would only read the script 3 or 4 times and my lines would be memorized. No idea how this crap works. I just know I'm a cognitive learner, so acting it out and doing the motions for the play musical amplifies my learning maybe. I also play drums. One day I just hopped on my cheap drum set my rents got me for band in 5th grade. I didn't play on it until I was 16, and just started beating on it. I learned 5-6 different beats in one day just by listening to them without ever playing drum set seriously before. It's pretty much not a classified disability along with the rest of the kids put in special ed rooms. Wish they wouldn't call it a disability. Kinda hurts when I do struggle, like failing my EMT basic class this last year, but I just learned differently than everyone else. I have atypical reactions to all medications that affect how awake sleepy you are. Meds that wake me the frick up. Melatonin and Benadryl. Meds that make me hyper as crap and drive my mother up the wall. Vicodin. Med that has made me sleepy knocked me the frick out. Ritalin. It's kind of wonderful in that if I have a reaction to something and get hives I can take Benadryl and go about my day like nothing's wrong. 2 issues arise from this lovely power though. 1. I had to stop taking Ritalin because it was making me fall asleep in places where sleeping is not appropriate such as on the bus and the train. 2. On Vicodin after I got my wisdom teeth out I could not sit still. I had cabin fever and was bouncing off the walls. I kept standing up and doing crap and my mom would tell me I needed to lay down but I just couldn't. I wanted to run in circles around our neighborhood. I wanted to try rock climbing. I wanted to do jumping jacks in the middle of the kitchen. Congratulations, you have ADHD. I have it, so I know from experience basically. Stimulants calm us, and depressants boost us. Fun crap yo. I have really bad eyesight and I've worn glasses for most of my life. However, my sense of smell and hearing are both off the charts. I have 3rd degree burns on about 1/4 of the front of my body, right arm and half of my torso. Chicks dig it. Plus I get to make up lots of cool stories about how I got it. Motorcycle accident. Saved my baby brother from a burning building. Reason for absence of dragons. Science experiment gone wrong. Etc. Just a warning, doctors have been known to make mistakes about that sort of thing, and there are so many people with miracle babies. Depending on your disease, you may want to use some form of birth control anyway. I have heterochromia, different color eyes. Thankfully it was just enough to get me a place in Xavier's school for the gifted. I'm depressed, but being depressed made it much easier to really get into metacognitive abilities. Part of this is probably because I had to deal with the divide between what I want to do and what I'm going to do. Because of the depression, even things I want to do are hard to actually start, and several times I've been in a situation where I am debating emotionally whether to do something while fully knowing I'm not going to do it. So I feel sad, bored, and have basically no motivation. But this means I think a ton, create elaborate fantasies, and can really analyze how I think. Once I manage to get the depression under control, it will really have helped me, I feel. Until then, it does kinda suck that doing anything is a huge hassle that I have to plan around and force external deadlines and still have trouble following through. My girlfriend died 2 years ago. I've been going out to try and meet new people, but I've been out of the dating scene for a long time and don't know what to do when it comes to seeing and transmitting feelings in ways other than words. But being single for so long got me to reevaluate some aspects of my life, and my grades as well as my artwork is at an all-time high, and things are only getting better in those aspects. Sure, it's lonely and I have no clue what to do if a girl happens to try and get my attention at a club, but I'm looked at by all my female friends as what one of them describes as a perfect gentleman. Not what a girl is looking for, but what a woman is looking for, and I honestly wouldn't trade that for anything. Life is precious to me now. I treasure every second of it, and I try to help those around me realize the same thing. Unfortunately, 9/10 people did not read this comment because it is too long and will, for that reason, be buried. I don't mind though, just seeing the words outside my own head is enough for me. I hear similar things about myself, so hopefully, they are right, and I will not be forever alone. Found out I have celiac. I lost 100 pounds in a year after changing my diet. Went from a size 18 to a size 6. Not to mention, not eating gluten has decreased a lot of the joint pain I've had most of my life. I'm 21 and 2 years into university and have never had a cup of coffee. I don't have trouble staying alert during lectures, and I sleep an average of 5 hours a night. Yup, I've never had coffee either. Turning 21 in 2 weeks and heading into my 4th year. I do rely on coke to stay awake though. I'm bipolar. The manic stages are indescribable. The depression is suicidal. However, the creativity and life experience it has provided makes me glad to be bipolar every day. Life's much more interesting when you aren't normal. I'm waiting for the follow-up. Update. Goddang frick crap. This bipolar balls is driving me insane. FMLP. But seriously, good on you for finding the light in what is, frankly, a pretty dark and painful disorder. I never had much luck with girls, aka resulting in being single for life so far, but because I have had a lot of time of my own, I was able to pick up some useful talents. Been playing guitar for 10 years, can draw Simpsons characters like an animator, became a baseball nerd, which led me to focus on sports journalism for my college, etc. I also love spending time in gym lifting and running. If I were in a relationship, I don't know how much time and effort that I can put into the stuff that I love to do. I have Asperger's. It's somewhat difficult to relate to people. Social situations are never something I really want to do, but I've learned how to play the social game and I have a lot of friends. Having to fight to understand social structure really puts me at an advantage, though, because I've learned a lot in my life nobody else bothers to think about. By this point in my life, the disability isn't really disabling anymore, and the perspective it's given me gives me a leg up everywhere. Oh, but my girlfriends all get tired of me pretty quick. Good in public, I'm a freaking weird mother behind closed doors. I have a severe brain injury, which sucks. I'm very good at focusing on positives, to the point where I hardly notice negative elements anymore. I try to coach others to do this, but eventually end up telling them that they need an accidental frontal lobotomy. I'm gay. No straight guy has any idea what they're missing out on. All I can say is there's no BJ better than a BJ from someone who both has a penis and enjoys putting penis in their mouth. For a while I looked at it as a flaw, and some other people did too, but I'm pretty darn tootin' grateful for being Asian. Other than some racism, I honestly don't see any flaw in being Asian. I was born without wisdom teeth. No gruesome tooth ripping for me. My partner had to have all 4 yanked, which was pretty lame. I have a mild moderate hearing loss in my left ear. Sometimes it sucks and it's hard to hear and distinguish words, but I love it at night. I just sleep on my right side with my left bad ear up, and I barely hear any city noise or anything, and I'm able to fall asleep and stay asleep. I can't sleep on my left side because it just seems so loud by comparison. I have flat feet. I couldn't enlist or be drafted even if I wanted to. Young men might get scared of some horrid war and being sent off to die. I know I will be stuck in the States along with all the women. I'm glad that I grew up fat. It made me develop my mind and a sense of humor, and also got me some of the best friends ever. I am 49 years old and have a sprinkling of freckles on my nose and cheekbones. I'm grateful though because it makes me look younger than I am. Freckles are hot. I have skin attaching my tongue to the bottom of my mouth. I can't French kiss, or anything similar to that, but I'm pretty sure it means I can't swallow my tongue. Overly competitive. It drives me to get a lot better at things than I would if I wasn't competitive. At the same time it makes me want to turn everything into a competition, or makes me only want to do things that are possible to be better than someone else at, so that sucks. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.